Hi, I'm Tom Salta. I'd like to show you something absolutely amazing that you can do with AutoBounce. Not only can it run stems and mixes, but it can also run complete multitracks. While working on AutoBounce, I had this realization that I could actually go back and finally archive older projects that I have in Logic before the plugins and sample libraries and operating systems are no longer compatible. And who among us actually takes the time to do that? I know I'm guilty of not doing it, and it's one of the few regrets that I have. There are so many amazing albums and scores that I can't load up anymore in Logic. All I have is what I exported when I did it, which is typically, if I'm lucky, stems and definitely mixes and alt mixes. But wouldn't it be amazing if I could archive forever full processed multitracks of every single element? I mean, this is the way it used to be when we were recording on multitrack tape. You know, everything was already separated on different tracks and I just load the tape. But now you can't even get the tape players. And when I switched to digital audio workstations, you know, I would cut corners, I'd finish the project, and then, you know, hope that I never have to kind of come back and load it up again. Well, that day is finally over, and it's really exciting for me to kind of go back and load up every single Logic project that I can and use AutoBounce to archive them. Let me show you how easy it is to do. Okay, you are now looking at the Logic project for my main theme to the video game Deathloop. And what I'm going to do right now is archive this project for you track by track automatically with AutoBounce. And let me just show you how quickly I can do this. First of all, one thing that I want to make a decision on immediately is which, if any, tracks to combine. Generally, for a multi-track, I don't want to combine any more than I need to. But in the case of these drums, there is a heavy compressor that is affecting the entire drum kit. And there's really no need for me to ever want to swap out a drum sound for a different one or have full volume control. Right? Because the hat, you can see how loud the hat is. And if I were to just, you know, bounce that out separately, that would mess up the mix. It would never actually sound the way it did originally. So in this case, I'm going to want to combine those in a track stack, which I already have set up for running stems anyway, and everything else I want to leave expanded. All right, so that means every region you see here on the screen, every track is going to be its own audio file, okay? So not stems, but actual multi-tracks. Some people might call them stripes. All right. It's all there. The vocals, the amazing 𝗟𝗲𝗿𝗃. And I want to have full control over that and be able to call that back in 20 years and have it as a complete multi-track that'll work in any DAW. How amazing is this? So, for the sake of this demo, I'm going to only focus on this area here because it'll speed up the bouncing, obviously. All right. Now, you also notice that I happen to have some empty tracks. So what I want to do to speed things up even more with AutoBounce is I'm going to use this handy-dandy feature here called Select Unused Tracks. And if I hide those tracks like this, you'll see what happens in AutoBounce. Let me run it now. All right, so now I'm launching AutoBounce, and the first thing it will ask you to do is scan your Logic project. So you just hit scan and let it do its thing. AutoBounce is done, and you can see that the full track list is here, mirroring the same track list in Logic. And all you are seeing are the tracks that have content on it. So every little checkbox is a track that has content on it. How is that happening? Because AutoBounce intelligently will filter out hidden tracks. You don't have to have that. You can actually have them visible like this, and I can include hidden tracks, but I don't want to because I only selected empty tracks and made those hidden. So that's a little shortcut for you. All I need to do now to run a complete multi-track is hit select all. I'm going to name my folder and just call it DL multitrack. test. All right. And I'm ready to go. Now, wait. Do I want to include the master bus effects, or do I want to have them unmastered? Good question. Hey, with auto bounce, you can do both. So right now, this is just going to bounce it through the same master output effects that I have on everything. But, you know, that might not be a good idea for some people. I'm not really sure. I want to have options. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a duplicate set of stems. This one I'm going to say unmastered. And in order to do that, I'm going to click this little button showing me the master out effect inserts. Now I have my choice to turn them on or off in any combination. I can create a separate set of stems or anything with each of these. All right, but in this case, I want to keep that and turn the other ones off. And that's it. Now, the last thing I want to do is I want to make sure that each of those tracks are ordered in the same order as I have them in the Logic project. Okay? I don't want it being sorted by, you know, alphabetical, and then I don't know the way I have my tracks laid out, because I do like to have certain things at the top, certain things in the bottom, etc. So the easiest way to do that is to use the handy dandy naming convention editor. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a sequence number. So this is just going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, and just do them all in order for every single bounce, and I'm just going to keep an underscore in between them. All right, I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm just going to do the sequence number. And that's all it takes to set this up and be able to press bounce and walk away from your machine. You ready? See you later. And we're back. Auto bounce is done. Let's take a look at what it did. You click Show in the Finder, and here we go. We have two folders named exactly as the jobs are named. This one is the main multitrack here. Got the drums. Right down the list. And then here is the same set done again, sequentially numbered, but unmastered. You can hear the difference. Pretty incredible, right? I did not have to be here. It gives me those options. The computer is working for me, and I get my life back. That was a really quick, simple example, but you could take it even further. Take a look here in auto bounce. Let's say I wanted to do, in addition to an unmastered, let's say I wanted to take this job and do a dry set of stems. It's as easy as this. I hit copy. Okay, I'll just say dry. Simply click allow aux muting so I can see all my aux effects, and I can see which ones are the reverbs that I want to turn off to create dry. I can leave effects on like phaser because that's part of the sound, for example, but these are the reverbs. Turn that off. Done. That's it. All right? I could, and if I want to kind of keep working on this, do more tomorrow, or I made a mistake or whatever, I don't have to set this all up again. I could just hit save. So I would just call this my, Deathloop Main Theme, multi. Boom. And then I can just recall that whole auto bounce file and at any time if I wanted to redo something. That's how simple it is. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.